Online with Amr the Internet Guy. Stream it today on your favorite podcast platforms. This podcast focuses on entrepreneurs and business owners, helping them become more successful in conducting their business on the web without being stuck with technology, getting a headache, pulling their hairs out, or buying expensive software. Again, it's titled Online with Amr the Internet Guy. That's A-M-R, Amr the Internet Guy. You can stream it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, also available on Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm/Amr the Internet Guy. There's many episodes up for you to listen to already, and make sure you subscribe to be notified of future releases. Online with Amr the Internet Guy. Go check it out now.
Hello everyone, I'm back. Welcome to this new mini-series from Online with the Internet Guy. It dawned on me that Online with the Internet Guy should also have tips and tricks for doing business online, creating your website the easy way without headache, and helping you do more business, e-commerce and other stuff online the easy way. So yes, I did enjoy very much doing the interviews that I used to do, and I'm looking to going back to doing these interviews at some point in the future. But it kind of dawned on me today. I was having a conversation with my son, who became a business owner about 4 or 5 months ago, and he's enjoying it. He's really pushing it to the limit. And we were discussing his website. So initially, back in March, when he started his business, he asked me not to help him with his website. And he said, "Hey Dad, I want to learn how to do it on my own." Then he got busy with the actual business and the deliverables that he has to give to his clients. And it became like a cycle. He lost track of the website thing, and it's a good thing that he still has new clients. It's solely based on recommendations, but if one of these days somebody who doesn't see or didn't see a recommendation and wanted to research him, like let's say somebody who he will meet in a networking group or an event, right? The first thing that people usually do is to go to your website. When you don't have one, it looks bad. And then if you have one that doesn't work, it looks even worse. So yes, every new business needs to have a website. Even every established business who does have a website, they need to look at it every 2 to 3 years and look at whether this website is still representing them and is still truthful to the brand, and does it actually work? Like when somebody fills the form on your website, do you receive the email right away? So things like that. But in general, I left him and I let him try to learn it on his own. Fast forward 5 months later, he still doesn't have a website. So sometime in between, we had a discussion about building it. Since he had a good hosting that has fast WordPress hosting, I told him, you know what? Let me do the back end for you. So I set up his back end from the control panel of the hosting, and I installed a fresh copy of WordPress, and I even installed one of the best templates or the best themes that I've been using, and I created a short instructional video for him in order to create his landing page there. So I guess he has all the steps and he has everything there, yet he didn't build the landing page. So this morning we were discussing it, and I asked him why you didn't build your landing page. And he said something that was like so surprising, even though I've heard it countless times before, but I did not believe that in the age of AI and him being like, born in tech, like his generation, what do we call them? Is it Z now? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, he said, "Hey Dad, like WordPress is a bit confusing." And I said, "What about it is exactly confusing to you? Did you watch the video that I sent you?" He said, "No, I logged in on my own and I tried to do it, and it was very difficult." And of course, if you're doing it for the first time and you're a business owner and you don't want to hire a web designer or web developer to do it for you, and you want to do it on your own, it might seem confusing and hard in the beginning. It's just because you don't know the right steps, what goes before what. And that's why exactly I've decided to create this mini series. So I wanted to give everyone tips and tricks from my 20 plus years of experience online to make it easier for you to create your landing page or your website in WordPress without being confused and without stopping somewhere because it got too technical and you could not do it. So we're going to go back to the basics and learn step by step here on YouTube and as well as the podcast. So today is the first episode of these mini series. And as we go back to the basics, today I want to discuss domain names. So a domain name is kind of your business name dot something. So like CNN.com, their business name is CNN and it's dot something. That something for them is dot com. That com, the dot com, whatever comes after the dot, which is all the way on the right. Well, I don't know in the screen here. Probably you see it on the left. But when we type it, it's all the way on the right. We call it a top level domain. So the top level domains that used to exist used to be .com, .net. Then it was like limited .online. I think it was limited to 5 or 6 top level domains. But in the past 5 or 6 years, they have created a ton of top level domains. So for example, where you guys go to subscribe to my courses, the formal online training is the internetguy.training. So my top level domain is .training. My business is humantalents.ca. This makes my top level domain .ca. It's CA for Canada. So the top level domain could be an abbreviation of a country like CA for Canada, UK for UK, ZA for South Africa, things like that. Yeah, South Africa is ZA, South Africa. No, it's because SA is Saudi Arabia. Same thing happens with Austria and Australia. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, the ADHD. I can blame the ADHD. The top level domains could be country specific or .com, .net, other types of top level domains. So now we have .training, .ai, .computer, .tech. There's so many of them. So it makes it easier when you're looking for a domain name if you don't find the .com available, because in many cases the .com would have been taken by somebody else years ago. There used to be companies who would bulk register many .com domains in the hopes of auctioning them and selling them for more money later on. But rule number 1, anyway, here you go. Rule number 1, try to choose a domain name that reflects what you do. So it's easy for people to know just from the domain name what your business is all about. So let's say, I don't know, you're an artist, for example. Let's say you're an artist and your name is Joe. So your domain name could be paintingsbyjoe.com or Joe Paintings or Joe's Art. But then if you say Joe's Art, you can't have an apostrophe in the domain name. So it's going to have to be JOES Art, right? Joe's Art. Things like that. So try to choose the name as something that reflects the business, like the Internet Guy.training. It gives you the idea that this website will have courses, right? Well, at least this was my intention. So rule number 1, try to choose a name that reflects what you do, makes it easy for people. But rule number 2, also try not to make it so long so people would get an error when they're typing it. So, I don't know. I don't want to say like a real example and make somebody who's got an existing domain name upset with me. But let's say, I don't know, you repair chairs and tables, right? So you can say Maria's Chairs and Tables Repairs.com. 100% people will make a typo when they're trying to get there, and they will not arrive there because that domain name is so long. Maybe if you just call it Maria's Repair or Maria Repairs or I Repair Chairs or something like that, it will make it easier. Rule number 1, get a name that reflects your business. Get a domain name that reflects your business. Rule number 2, try to make it easy and not long so people don't make mistakes. when they type it. And the last one, rule number 3, is try to get the .com if it's available. If not, then check your country's top level domain. As I said earlier, if you're in the UK, there's .uk. If you're in Canada, there's .ca. If you're in the US, there's .us, and so on. That might be still available, and it will give people an idea about your location as well, which is a great thing. So once they see your domain name printed somewhere on your business card or somewhere else, it's easier for them to relate to your business as well as your physical location. Now, the last part of this episode about the domain names is where you go to register. So I've used so many registering companies, or registrars as we call them, and the two that come off the top of my head right away are GoDaddy and Namecheap. While you're registering your domain name in GoDaddy specifically, make sure that they don't sell you anything else. They are notorious for trying to sell you stuff right away, and you'll get sidetracked and you'll end up spending so much money that you don't need. A .com domain name is about, I think, $11 now, $10, $11 a year, something like that. And it's around that. Like, I don't know exactly how much, because sometimes they have a sale as well. It could be a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but it's like less than $15. It's like more than $9 and then less than $15 for a .com domain. So just go there, buy or register your domain, say no to all the upsells, and just pay and get the hell out of there. Now you've registered a domain name. The other company that I use frequently as well is called Namecheap. Sometimes they do try to upsell you stuff, but they're not in your face like GoDaddy. One thing that I like Namecheap about, or one thing that makes me like Namecheap more, is that you can get the privacy of your domain registration for free. What does this mean? What's the privacy? What's the domain privacy? When you buy a domain name or register a domain name, you have to give them your full name, your address, your email address, and sometimes even your phone number or your business's phone number. So this is in order to make sure that once the domain is registered, you are the rightful owner of the domain and they have all of your details. So many companies, when you used to register or buy a domain name from them, they would have this information, like your name, your email address, your phone number, available, open to the public. Anyone can see who owns this domain and contact you, which was also a big source of spamming. You get like cold calls and spam calls and spam emails and so on. GoDaddy used to charge people money in order to hide these details. While I don't know if they still do, maybe now they do it for free. So don't quote me on it. It could be free today as we're recording this video. But Namecheap have always had, or at least in the past 10 years, have always had this privacy for free with the domain when you buy it or register it through Namecheap.com. So this is the easiest way to go register your domain. I hope that you got something out of this video today. In the next episode, we're going to discuss a little bit of DNS. We're not going to go all the way into what a DNS is and how it works, but we're going to just go over it quickly, and I'm going to explain to you what is hosting and how to buy the best hosting plan for your first website. Thank you, and see you in the next one.